Hi, I'm Simone W. Johnson-Smith, and welcome to the Immigrant Experience in America. Are you a professional new to the United States and struggling to monetize the expertise you brought across the seas? Are you feeling misunderstood and out of touch because you're struggling to understand the unstated rules of the American culture? Each week, we'll take an in-depth look at the positive contributions immigrants are making to the American culture, marketplace, and life. Our intention is to serve as a bridge from your culture to the American culture, giving you a roadmap of tools and the language to understand the unstated rules of the American culture. Let's get started.
Hello, listeners, and thank you for joining us on our final episode of 2022 on the Immigrant Experience in America, where we amplify and humanize the experiences of immigrants in the United States and around the world. Today is our year in review episode, and we are so excited to share with you what we've accomplished over the last 11 months since starting on January 26th, our official launch day. We are quite pleased. So we've released 70 episodes, and we are literally 19 downloads away from 10,000 downloads over the last 11 months. And we're so grateful. Thank you so much, all of you who are out there listening and rating and, continuing to give us your feedback. However you do so, we appreciate the support. We'd like to go in to share with you some more details about the number of countries we've covered, different topical areas we've covered, and give you a list of countries from which we have people listening. I was quite pleased and excited to look at some of the stats last night, day after Christmas. And again, I'm just filled with gratitude and so hopeful for 2023 and what we'll be accomplishing together. So we've done 70 episodes, 10,000 downloads, and I'm pretty sure we'll get that by the time this episode is released on Wednesday, the 28th of December. We're only 19 away. I'm pretty sure when I wake up in the morning, we'll be at the 10,000 downloads. So quite excited about that. We have welcome guests from 25 countries, including Jamaica, Panama, Antigua, Ivory Coast, Russia, Colombia, Nigeria, China, Egypt, Iran, Ukraine, St. Vincent, Kenya, India, the Philippines, Mexico, Dominican Republic, Venezuela, Bosnia, Japan, Cameroon, Zimbabwe, Italy, Haiti, and Argentina. We've covered topical areas such as the immigration lawyer experience, and we've interviewed a number of children with immigrant parents. We've covered mental health issues in the immigrant community. We've had the entrepreneurial experience. We've given you several lists of fellowships and scholarships for those out there who are interested in applying. And we've done the American cultural experience with the wonderful Lainey Danslow. We've interviewed some international students to talk about their experience moving from overseas and studying here in the United States. We've done the refugee experience, the Afro-Panamanian experience, the Afro-Latina experience, a retired immigrant American. We've discussed healthcare in the immigrant community. And we've also discussed the medical doctor's experience for someone who's leaving with credentials in another country and wanting to come over and practice as a medical doctor here in the United States. And we've done and covered quite a bit on immigrant women working in corporate America, and also what the experience of children of immigrants who are born to parents from different countries, what that experience is like being born here in the United States and trying to, blend all those different cultures as they are being raised here in the U.S. So thanks so much again for your support. We are going down our list now of listeners of the 195 countries. We have 41 countries who've been listening to our podcast over the last 11 months. The majority of our listeners, of course, from the United States, where we are recording and producing our show. And then we have the Dominican Republic, Mexico, Spain, Belgium, the Philippines, Japan, Iran, Nigeria, India, Trinidad and Tobago, the United Kingdom, Israel, Canada, El Salvador, Pakistan, Russia, Sweden, France, Germany, Taiwan, Nicaragua, Jamaica, the Netherlands, Kenya, Haiti, Indonesia, Bulgaria, Australia, Grenada, Belarus, Switzerland, Cambodia, Uzbekistan, Poland, South Korea, Vietnam, Argentina, Puerto Rico, Ecuador, and last but not least, Ireland. So 41 countries. We're sending a shout out to you there as a part of our listening audience. We appreciate your support, your continued support, and we want to encourage you to give us your comments by emailing us. My email is always in the show notes of each episode. Let us know if there are any specific topics you'd like us to cover, anything that you don't particularly like, and we'll be happy to discuss with the team and see what adjustment and changes we can make in order to make this a more pleasurable experience for you as you listen. We so appreciate the support. Shout out to all of our listeners from these 41 countries. We thank you so much. So I just wanted to leave all of you with, as we have reviewed 2022 and all the successes that we've had, including we were named number 17 on the top 30 list of American culture podcasts. And we're so appreciative of that. We certainly did not expect anything like that on our first year, in our first months of launching. But we couldn't have done it without you. So thank you again. We've gotten so many words of wisdom from our interviews. But one in particular that I would like to encourage you out there who are listening, and whether you're here in the United States or in some other place that you've moved away from your birth country and now living in an adopted country, I just want to encourage you to stay close to that immigrant mentality. There's two particular attributes that is pretty clear in the immigrant community is frugality, which is being very cautious with your spending habits. And the second is industriousness, like you work hard. Most immigrants I know, when they go abroad, they go because they have a family back home to support. They have educational aspirations. They go with an intention of, okay, I'm willing to put the work in to get to where I need to be financially or otherwise to get to a particular goal. And so I just encourage you to continue to embrace that. There is no shame in working hard but working smart, of course. That's very important, right? Don't get up every day and just be busy, busy, busy. But at the end of the day or end of a week, you're not necessarily hitting the target of whatever that goal may be. So be intentional in 2023. Set some goals and make sure that your actions are actually moving you closer to those goals, because I can attest in my own personal life, sometimes I just find myself being busy, this person, that person calling me and wanting me to be on their agenda, wanting me to go to this event, that event, support this person. And a lot of times, if you're not careful, you spend time just being externally driven by what other people's agenda is for you, rather than focusing on what your goal is for your life, for your family, for your home, for your personal goals. And so I encourage you, set some boundaries. That's not a word that is discussed in communal cultures, in high context cultures, because relationships are so important to us. And I understand that completely. I cherish my large family, my large community. But as I've gotten old, I just realized just how important it is for me to put certain boundaries in place, or I will not have the energy or time or mental space for my home, for my husband, for my daughter because I'm so expended with, doing things outside of what should be my priority and my first things first on my list. And so I encourage you to just be mindful in 2023 where your energy is being spent. This is something that I've observed in the immigrant community, in my family, in relationships with others. We're just so externally driven, like, trying to work hard to impress the Joneses and so forth. So just be careful of how social pressures are forcing you to do things and aspire to things that are not necessarily important to you. I want to also encourage you to spend some time in 2023 doing some meditation, going inward, in your body, in your mind, just observing your thoughts. Because I've learned over time that your thoughts impact your emotions, and your emotions impact the decisions that you make from moment to moment. And then that again will influence the life that you end up living and your ultimate decisions about where your life is headed. And so for me, I have noticed in the last year or two, I have really determined to slow down and to constantly just observe my thoughts, my thinking mind, because at times you find yourself being upset and not even knowing why you're upset, right? For example. And so for me, over the last year, I've spent a lot of time just observing what is going on in my head. I mean, if you stop and observe your mind, sometimes you wake up in the mornings and your mind is just racing with conversations that you weren't even thinking about after you were asleep for the past 8 hours. So how is it that you wake up, open your eyes, and your mind is racing and running with all these thoughts? And so I have learned that there is peace, right? Life is an inside job, not an outside job. A lot of times we get so carried away with, people around us, the noise in our world. But I encourage you this year to slow down and just observe your thoughts, see how they're impacting your emotions. Are they causing you to overreact, to be more upset about situations which you might have more control over if you observe patterns of behavior in your own life? If you're able to tap into the peace that is already inside of you, then the people in your home, the people in your circle, the people in your community will experience that peace. And so I've really learned to slow down, do some meditation, and observe my thinking. And at times it's amazing just how peaceful I can become, because some of these thoughts, once you start observing them and becoming aware of them, they actually they go away and you have more self-control. And so for 2023, be frugal, continue to work hard towards your goals. Make sure that you have specific goals, that you're prioritizing what are the important things for you and your family, setting boundaries, and then observing your thoughts and tapping into that peace that already is within you, right? It's not outside of you. There's so much noise around us, propelling us, pushing us to behave a certain way. We have to buy this expensive car, live in this type of home. But, I've had to slow down and turn off that noise. And so I encourage you to do some of that in 2023, to find the peace that is already inside of your very own mind, of your very own body, of your very own world, and connecting into what that divine purpose for your life is, as opposed to just being led by the outside world to do and achieve things that they think is more important for us. I hope that you find those helpful, and just encouraging you to continue on your journey as an immigrant. We are here for you. And for 2023, we're excited that, we've been building out our website at theimmigrantexperiencebtyad.us. Check us out. We'll be coming online here shortly with some offering for coaching, for life coaching, for mentality coaching, for some career coaching. We're building out some courses. and looking to do some consulting, and of course continuing our podcast, as well as some blog posting about some thoughts and issues that I'd like to discuss as I see occurring in the immigrant expat community. For me, it is one and the same. I came over with a lot of value and I've added to this culture. And so I consider myself an expat slash immigrant. And the basic distinction with that is most people use the word expat to refer to themselves as someone coming over bringing value, versus immigrant sometimes has a negative connotation where some people think that, oh, you came in illegally and you're here to take and you're not here legally and so forth. And so I know that might be the case for some people, but I know there's so many people, more than 1 million people enter the United States legally every year. And I know most of us are in that expat group, right? There's a huge brain drain happening from the developing world to the industrialized world, because that's where we can find jobs and more opportunities. These smaller countries are not able to absorb the number of educated individuals that are being released from universities, example of Jamaica. So I completely get that. And so we're excited for 2023, and we have several people already on the books to be interviewed in January. Literally, January 1, I have an interview. January 2nd, I have 2 interviews and so forth. So next week, first week of 2023 is going to be quite a busy start of the year for me. And I'm looking forward to adding value to you, to giving you the language to explain this journey. And we'll be coming to you with some social media posting and maybe some blog posting with the topic Culture Bites, explaining the American culture and specifically for, in my case, the Jamaican culture and things useful to our listening audience. So we thank you again. Shout out to our 41 countries who are listening. We appreciate you. We wish you the very best for this holiday season, and may 2023 be your best year yet.
Take care. Walk good.